Good morning, Tottenham fans. Today is Wednesday, the 5th of January, 2022. It's game day. First leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final against Chelsea is tonight, 7:45 on Sky Sports if you're in the UK. This is a real quick one from me today. I just want to go through a little bit of the Tottenham news that has come out overnight or late yesterday since my last stream. And then also just want to go through some of my predicted lineups for the Tottenham-Chelsea game. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, it's at Spurs or SpursTalkShow, all one word. And if you want to find me on Twitter, it's at SpursTalkShow. So a little bit of news to come out that is kind of relevant to the game today. Apparently, according to Football Insider 24/7, Tottenham recruitment chief Fabio Paratici is calling every day to try and win the race to sign Chelsea star Antonio Rudiger. The centre-back, 28 years old, is a top target for Spurs, and they are working on agreeing a deal this month with him, with a view to him joining in the summer. So personally, like I said to you, the same way I felt about the Lukaku noise that was coming out over the last couple of days, that his lack of interest and desire to leave Chelsea, and because of the relationship that Antonio Conte once upon a time had with Lukaku, that somehow this lazy journalism would result in a cocktail that would invoke some nonsense that Lukaku may in fact join Tottenham. And as I said yesterday, I think the whole thing is nonsense based purely on the fact that Frank Arnesen created a wedge between the two clubs when he was at Tottenham as the director of football a long, long time ago, towards the start of Roman Abramovich's reign at Chelsea. And he and Daniel Levy fell out over the issue when Frank Arnesen inevitably left us and went to Chelsea. Tottenham and Chelsea haven't done a lot, if any, business since. And I'd be incredibly surprised if there was any truth to the Rudiger deal, just like I would have been shell-shocked had there been any surprise, any truth at all to this nonsense that Lukaku was going to come as well. Neither of them are happening, but we have to report on the news. Tottenham are clearly looking for a centre-back to bolster their chances of getting a top four spot at the end of the season. We do need to do business in January. However, I don't think that any of it is going to come from our West London neighbours. As much as I like Rudiger, first of all, his huge salary demands would blow us out of the water and would set precedents within the Tottenham hierarchy that would then result in other players needing to have their wages met and put in line as compensation requirements that currently exist. And I don't think that happens under any world that I can see with Daniel Levy at the helm. So I'm going to put this one in the don't even bother basket and move straight on. What else have we got in the news today? So a lot of news has been coming up about Philippe Coutinho, the Barcelona somewhat floundering ex-superstar who wants to leave Spain and come to the UK. The two names that are on everyone's lips as potential suitors are, of course, Newcastle United, big money bags, Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur. Apparently, according to hitc.com, who are really just kind of regurgitators or aggregators of news, and they've looked up and seen that Spanish newspaper Mundo Deportivo reported that Coutinho is a target for both Spurs and Newcastle. Both are said to have made offers. I haven't seen anything that confirms or makes that kind of concrete, but both have been said to have made offers according to Mundo Deportivo. But it's also claimed that Coutinho prefers a move to Spurs over Newcastle. Why wouldn't he? Tottenham are a team on the up. Coutinho is a superstar. He's having a bad time of it in the Spanish league, but his class is permanent, and his previous successes in the UK would make him a good fit. Less risk to the unknown entities of players coming from Europe and not having played in the Premier League before. Coutinho has played here. He's been a superstar here. So why wouldn't he want to come back and resurge and rebuild his career? The only stumbling block I can see is the salary demands. Again, problem with Tottenham is they do have certain caps in place, or kind of theoretical caps in place that may be broken in the coming days if Harry Kane is to get a new contract, rumoured to be £400,000 a week. But Coutinho at the moment is on apparently £375,000 on his own merit over in Barcelona. Barcelona would love to get him off the wage book, even though their financial issues that everyone has known about over the last couple of years seem to be no longer as big a deal ever since they had a £500 million investment from Goldman Sachs and £1 billion debt regathering, reorganization with a Dubai firm last year, which was paved the way to Barcelona being able to pay £55 million to Manchester City for Ferran Torres. Would I like Philippe Coutinho at Tottenham? 100% I would. He's the sort of player that Tottenham need. Tottenham are crying out for. We don't have a mechanism, a player right now with the skill set who can break teams down, who sit back and play 10 men behind the ball, such as what Southampton did very well when they went down to 9 men against us. Down to 10 men against us last week. And what Watford did so well for 85 or 90 minutes of the game until we were fairly fortuitous in the last couple of breaths of that game that Sanchez got up and nodded the ball home. So I'd love him in. The wage thing, I think, again, it's going to start to cause some kind of murmurs of discontent around other players that are in the Tottenham camp that have just signed contracts, like Sonny, for example, who's on 180 grand a week, a freshly signed contract, just to see players that have come in to be on double his salary. I think that might be a little bit of a poor show, considering how much of a senior and loved player Sonny is. And then you've got players like Oliver Skipp, who are emerging as future superstars, who currently allegedly are sitting on £16,000 a week in salary. Surely that will have to be taken care of very soon as well, to bring him in line with the sort of first team regular that he is becoming. Anyway, back to the main story. A lot of people on Twitter are buzzing about this. Some people saying that they'd love to see Coutinho and Lucas Moura behind Harry Kane, Adama and Cess on the wings, and somehow put Sonny into that mix. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him in. A lot of people saying, get it done, Spurs official. Blue Blood saying, get it done. SM_090605 saying, sign him. I don't care. He's creative at least. And then Preek Gucci is saying, Ndombele plus 15 or 20 million in our favour, and he'd take the deal. I don't know if that's going to happen, buddy. I think that Ndombele is going to be very tough to shift on the salary he's on and the performance he's put in. Moving on to the next story, we've got transfer update about Harry Kane. You know, obviously in the summer, Harry Kane was all the talk in the late session of the transfer window. Won't he leave to go to Manchester City? And of course, now that the January transfer window is in full flow, the rumours will again, of course, start to emerge. There is a dearth of strikers that are available, top-level strikers that are available in European football. Very few players that are available, and a lot of teams that need reinforcements or to step up and pay big bucks for big players. The obvious names that are emerging, Dusan Vlahovic is one. Haaland over in Germany is another. But then you have players like Bayern Munich are going to need to replace their man very soon. Manchester City are still on the hunt. Manchester United might be out looking. Not that I would consider them a big club anymore. Certainly Chelsea, if Lukaku wants to leave in the summer, he'll be needing to be replaced. Tottenham will need at some point someone to give some sort of support or competition for places with Harry Kane. And on that note, Harry Kane, about maybe going across to Manchester City, is there any truth there? Well, Antonio Conte said yesterday, speaking ahead of the Carabao Cup semi-final with Chelsea, first of all, we are talking about a really good person and a really good man. And I think this is the most important thing, because I knew the situation in the summer. And when Harry decided to stay in Tottenham, I found the player totally involved in this project now. I'm happy to have him in my team, because for sure, we are talking about the top player, a top striker in the world. And if we want to win, or if we want to think to build something to win, Harry must be a point of start. This is normal, and he knows very well my opinion, but I repeat, I'm very happy to work with him, and I think that he has enjoyed the time, what we are building with the team, and that is all. In the summer, I followed the situation about Harry, and I saw what happened and what could happen. The club decided to keep Harry in the team, and I think it was a great choice by the owner. If in this way, you are showing you want to try to continue to build something important around one of the best players in your team. I followed the situation, but now it's not the right to look at the past. Now we have to live in the present, which says that Harry is a player at Tottenham and continues to be one of the best players in the team. He wants to give 100% in every game, and I am totally satisfied with his commitment and the relationship that we have created within the team. It goes on, he is a point of reference in the dressing room and an experienced player. I am totally enthusiastic about his involvement in the team and the Tottenham project. So there hasn't been anything there that suggests it's categorically not going to happen, but it's certainly giving all the positive vibes that most Tottenham fans want to hear. And it looks likely that Harry Kane has committed himself, especially if he can get a new contract, to Tottenham for the foreseeable. And that is at least one headache off of the one problem off of the shoulders of some of the hierarchy at Tottenham. So moving swiftly forward, because I don't have too long. Tottenham had been rumoured to be targeted with Lorenzo Insigne from Napoli this summer, and also a few weeks ago leading into the January transfer window. People were thinking if we can't sign Blajovic, maybe we can sign Insigne. But unfortunately, it looks like that's not going to happen. Music to some Tottenham fans' ears who didn't want him, but Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Insigne from Napoli to Toronto FC. Here we go, and confirmed. Deal fully agreed. Lorenzo has accepted Toronto bid and he's joining as a free agent in July. So that's one of the first men on that massive long list of potential Bosman transfers that is now scratched off. He is going to Toronto FC, which most people wouldn't have thought would be an obvious first choice for a player that you would consider still at the various highest levels of the game. He's only 30. So he's still got 3 or 4 years and he wants to go to North America. Why not? Good luck to him. But unfortunately for Tottenham, that is that. Hopefully now Tottenham will have to look at other attacking forwards, and it looks like there's more and more noise, ladies and gentlemen, around the potential signing of Wolves star Adama Traore. I don't think he'd cost as much as he would have done in the summer. His salary certainly wouldn't be as high as Lorenzo Insigne's, and I think he'd be a great fit. Whether he can play the right wing-back role quite as well as and offer defensive reinforcements, as well as certainly an Emerson Royale, but going forward, there's no doubt he offers an amazing amount of potential, ability and threat, pace, agility, technique. The only thing he does lack at the moment, if anyone was to be critical of the man, is an end product, which of course is a big deal and something we currently lack with our right wing back spot. Very good defensively, very good offensively, until it comes to the point where the cross comes in, and then there's really no joy coming from the end of it thus far. That is a criticism that is often thrown towards Adama Traore as well, but I'm still willing to have him in if the price is right and Conte wants him, then I want him. So, last thing I've got to say before we get on to the team news about tonight, Fabrizio Romano drops a major Hugo Lloris update at Spurs. He has come out, and I won't read through the whole quote, but in a nutshell, it looks like there will be a 1-year signing with an extension to go into 2024. He said that there's a couple of things that just need to be ironed out, but essentially Conte wants Lloris to be at the centre of the project, to be an important player for Tottenham, and to accept this contract because he is out of contract in June. So Tottenham are into it. Let's see if it will be a 1-year deal with an option to 24. It's a possibility, or directly a 2-year deal. It's still to be discussed, but Tottenham wants Hugo to stay. He wants to stay. Antonio Conte loves experienced players. Talking about Lloris, here's the priority for Conte, to keep him and extend his contract. So good news there for Tottenham fans. If anyone was worried that we are surely running out of time to get a experienced and qualified backup for Hugo Lloris, maybe we have a bit more time on our hands to be able to find that long-term replacement for the French captain. If we can get this deal done very quickly, it's super important. And it looks like, according to Romano at least, that it's something that's going to happen in the next coming days or weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to show you now is my predicted lineup for the Tottenham game tonight. So I'm going to start by, let me get rid of this. Going to get into the black background here. So because of, there has been a lot of rumours around about certain players going down with COVID. Hugo Lloris was one of them. Harry Kane was suggested to be another one, and so was Eric Dyer. It doesn't look like Hugo Lloris is going to be. There's not been any further development on the story. What has kind of emerged in the Twitter sphere is that Hugo Lloris will be fit to play tonight, but Eric Dyer may not. He is still isolating at Tottenham, the Tottenham training facility, or in the hotel, or wherever they might be. And so, unfortunately, we're going to go back to the 3-5-2 with Emerson Royale on the right, Serge Reguilon on the left wing back spots, and a back three this game of Ben Davies on the left centre-back, Davinson Sanchez on the right, and Joe Rodon in the middle. It was a toss-up for me between Joe Rodon and Japhet Tanganga. I personally would probably rather see Japhet Tanganga, but I will lend to other people who I consider to be more in the know than I am, and Joe Rodon certainly seems to be a name that they are bandying around quite a lot. So a little bit of a weakened team for Tottenham in the back, which is going to be a tough night for them with the team, the forward line that Chelsea are going to be able to put out today. We're going to come to that in a moment. Up in the midfield, we're going to go for a three of Højbjerg, Winks and Skip, as you were for the same sort of style against Liverpool. A strong, solid midfield three with Skippy and Højbjerg kind of more on the defensive role. Skippy hopefully can bring the ball out and make runs forward with it, and Harry Winks to be able to ping the passes up front towards our two talisman up front, which will be Heung-min Son, of course, and Harry Kane. No space on the starting 11 for players like Mora and Ndombele. We have got a few injuries. Ryan Sessegnon is out injured still. He's on his way back. He shouldn't be long. He should be fit for hopefully the Morecambe game. Steven Bergwijn is also out. He's got a bit longer to go, according to Antonio Conte. We won't be seeing him for a couple of weeks. And also QT Romero, he's still a long-term absentee. He is back in first-team training, but he's probably, again, a few weeks off of being fully fit and ready to participate in first-team football. I don't imagine you'll see any of those three on the bench tonight. Maybe I'll be wrong, but we'll see. In terms of Chelsea have got 7 first-team players out. Before I get to the actual starting 11, I just want to call out the 7 players that Chelsea have out are Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Anders Christensen, Timo Werner, Mendy, the goalkeeper who's away in Senegal on the AFCON duties, and Chalobah. A lot of players out for Tottenham, and also Rufus Loftus-Cheek. He's a late fitness tester. He's recovering from COVID. So those 7 players are out at the moment, at least for Chelsea. And so we won't spend any time on this talking about this at all. But this is the 11 that I've gone for. Again, a kind of 3-4-3 formation. You could play Alonso and Hudson-Odoi slightly further back, similar to the Tottenham formation. But in goal, Arrizabalaga, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, the Tottenham target, and Sarr are going to make up the back three. Alonso on the left wing back, Hudson-Odoi on the right wing back, Ollie Barkley and Jorginho are going to take in the spot. So no spot for Kante tonight, which I don't know. I don't think he's injured, but this is the 11. He might be on the bench, or he might be down with COVID. Who knows? And then up front, we're going to go with Romelu Lukaku, with Pulisic and Zitek on the right-hand side. Certainly a weakened formation, certainly a weakened team for Chelsea, and Tottenham will go to the game tonight with high hopes that they can at least get an away goal and a good result, a draw, a 1-1 draw, a 2-1 victory would be fantastic. We just want to be in the game when it comes back to the second leg, and certainly having an away goal would give us an advantage. And I don't think you'll find a better time to play Chelsea than this evening away at Stamford Bridge. It's been a long time since we've beaten them there. We don't beat them often, but I think that today we have the best chance, given their injury problems and that ours, apart from 1 or 2 players that are out, unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, will hopefully have a better chance than ever to get a good result and put us in good stead to get through to the final. For what it's worth, the other Carabao Cup, Liverpool against Arsenal tonight, the first leg, it looks like it's set to be called off. Again, Liverpool have asked the Football League for a suspension of the game because of their COVID issues, and with more and more players and staff and backroom staff coming down by the hour, it looks increasingly likely that that game is going to be off. So Tottenham will know by 10:30 tonight whether we're going to be going through to the final, or if we have a chance of getting into the final, but we won't unfortunately know who the likely candidate will be to meet in the final, because if the game is suspended, then we'll have to wait for further details and for that game to be replayed in the future. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'm going to nip off now, but you'll see me later on various channels. I'll be back here, I believe, for my own live stream, live commentary. But before that, I will be on the Irish Hotspur for the build-up over there. And, of course, you can always see me most days on Tottenham Tantrum Gold, and you can see me on watch-alongs coming very soon on We Are Tottenham TV. If you haven't, please like, share, subscribe, And follow me on Twitter at Spurs Talk Show on Twitter, Spurs Talk Show on Twitch and on YouTube. And that's it from me. I'm going to take a big breath and I'll see you later. As always, 1, 2, 3. Come on, you Spurs.